all are enjoying at your homes during this lockdown time. We hope that you're spending quality time with your friends and family and making the best use of this time. To keep you engaged and updated, we also have come up with an initiative called Kids Life, which is an initiative by Kidspreneur. Just like many other initiatives, we also try to keep you engaged and active. We also bring up so many people here with us so that we can help you meet them and know their stories. Same ways, today we have with us Mr. Akash Chandra and Mr. Amit Mishra. Amit is the co-founder of Kidspreneur and has also been has also acted as an enabler in the Indian startup ecosystem. He also advises companies on their Indian entry strategy. He's a TEDx speaker and works closely with some government initiatives also. Welcome, Amit.
Thanks a lot, Aditi.
Uh,
And warm welcome to Akash for joining us today. Uh,
Thanks,
Akash,
Amit. Thanks, Aditi. Thanks a lot for introducing me.
so Akash, I think the introduction will happen from the horse's mouth. You need to talk more about you. But I would want what I would want you to cover, right? You graduated from a very prestigious college also, and it's not easy to get into an IIT, especially in IIT Kanpur, right? So what was your preparation looked like? Obviously सबको धक्का मारा जाता है कि इंजीनियर बनना है, तुम्हें मारा गया, तुम बन भी गए, राइट? और इंजीनियर्स को तुम धक्का मार रहे हो अच्छा करने के लिए. So what has been your journey, and how did you reach out to starting this tour?
If I started from if you start from just from the IIT, so obviously that's the journey that a lot of engineers are going through. I mean, to get into IIT and all. I can't advise much because this has a lot of pattern change that has occurred since the time I have given that thing. But okay, but post that about starting into the Vistitude. So like I always had this knack of starting my own business, and education was one of the field that I wanted to work in. So soon after the college, I started working in the technology domain. Now, since I myself is not from a tech background, like my graduation degree is not from tech, so I drove into the technology domain. So I do realize that what are the challenges that you need to face from being a non-tech or from being a non-programming background and going into a technology background. So and then I started exploring this area. I worked in this domain and have an experience of around 5 to 6 years understanding the technology and all. And then I realized that a lot of people like in the same field, in the engineering field, are facing a similar challenge, right? They face some hurdles, they do not get the right training, or basically even if you see at the current landscape, like India currently has 30 million workforce, of which like 40% needs an urgent upskilling, otherwise they'll be out of jobs. And in fact, post COVID, there's been a massive that expense that will be going for the tech part, because now people are moving remotely. So that is where we realize that there's a huge skill gap that is left, even though there are a lot of learning platforms that are already available. But there's still a lot of gap that is needed to address, at least to the Indian market, because Indian market, there's a huge population that stays to in tier 2 and tier 3 market, right? So that's why there's a huge requirement that for training and upskilling, and that is where I came up with the idea. And since I have an experience of this domain, like how to start into a technology domain, how to recruit a person into technology domain, what all do you need to understand, that's why I thought that okay, this is the area I can actually help people in. So that is all about my journey.
Interesting. But I think because we're talking about kids, I would again ask you to talk about your journey, your experience as a kid. IIT कानपुर से पहले pre college, वो
Okay,
experience
okay.
college का experience कैसा रहा, talk about that, and then we will jump into a lot more serious
Yes.
business related questions.
Okay. Oh, you ended the last statement at Vistitude, so I thought maybe the journey has to be complete. But okay. So they're talking about IIT. So in fact, see the preparation, like people whoever are willing to go for it, they already start the preparation by like their 10th standard only. Like I don't know, even the current scenario also is the same. Like by 10th, even they are doing well, or even they're doing worse, doesn't matter. They start their preparation by 10th, and these 2 years are like the deciding years, like 11th and 12th.
Right.
Whoever's just does the hard work in this 2 area, that 8 years, that is the like complete the energy that is driven into this time. So and in fact, there are a lot of coaching institutes. In fact, with the technology, things have gone online, and like multiple live classroom, virtual classrooms, and all. In fact, people have there are a lot of free materials available for IT training. Now, in a way, you can call that helpful. I would also call that deviating, distracting, because people now, because when you have too much to study, you do not know what to study, right? What do you need to focus on? Given that, like when people ask me, I still recommend a better way, which was to go through the books only and just revise the concepts there, rather than like getting distracted by newer YouTube videos and these that things that are coming on. I mean, obviously there are good resource for help, but people do get distracted a lot, because when you, like I said, when you have too much things to study from, you do not know where to start from. So that is the whole thing. And yeah, that is the only thing, like this 2 years, the 11th, 12th, and the complete journey of understanding the concept, that is what drives you into these prestigious institutes.
तो कुछ अलग नहीं किया, कुछ बचपन में कुछ ऐसा कांड नहीं किया जो तुम शेयर करना चाहते हो, कुछ अलग
नहीं,
किया? एंटरप्रेन्योर्स आर सपोज्ड टू डू. जब भी मैं किसी से पूछता ना, मैंने बचपन में ये जरूर किया था, कुछ अलग कर रहे थे. राइट? तो तुम इंजीनियर बनने के लिए ऑब्वियसली तुम तैयारी कर रहे थे, अपना प्रिपरेशन कर रहे थे, बट एंड you are you're teaching computer science languages, right? But you did your engineering in a different thing altogether, right? So why was there transformation also?
So okay, so the thing is, see, a knack of programming develops from starting only, right? It's not like, I mean, someone who likes programming will develop it from the start only. I was already into programming, and even before coming into the college, right? So I had started that from 9th standard. In 11th, 12th also, I had C++ as a subject where I used to program. Now, a non-tech background like computer science is like the people who get the highest ranks, and also obviously it was not by a choice, it was by a chance that I have got into a non-tech background. But that does not matter. See, what's your background? It's about what you want to do. So I still continued to be in the programming domain, and moving out, I knew how to go about it. So the only thing different is like you have to have a focus on what you're doing right now. Like at least by 10th standard or by 9th, you actually have a clarity. I mean, not to be specific on what you want to do, but at least in the domain that you want to go. So I knew I had to go in the technology domain, be it engineering or be or anything, but at least related to technology. So at least you have to have that clear focus on your path.
So I think we have, we have got to know a lot about your background, your qualification and all, and that was, enlightening to meet a engineer from IIT today. We all are very happy today. Many people who must be watching us, they are either aspiring to get into IITs or maybe had this dream someday that they'll go to IIT. In fact, I did my 11th and 12th from PCM. So at that point of time, I also used to be like, I'll go to the IIT and, do some computer science course. But unfortunately, we couldn't make, I couldn't make it. So yeah, here I am. So we have a few questions for you today. So one of the questions is, you being in IT industry can understand it better. How do you think is, COVID-19 going to alter the IT industry?
I think that there'll be a massive boost to the IT industry, because people have now got too much addicted to the technology, right? So thinking of it that it might go down, that is completely a wrong notion, because in fact COVID has made them transform into like going towards the technology. In fact, if you see the groceries and all, now people who were actually buying from the online offline stores have also realized how the importance of online, and people are like people on the other side are actually going into developing these grocery skills and all. Also the technology has been pushed onto the IT people who are already working in the IT. They also need to upscale a lot now, but because they cannot now stay with the current skill that they had. You might have heard the news that TCS, which is the largest IT service employer in the country, has told that 75% of its workforce will be working remotely by 2025. So TCS has nearly 4.17 lakh people, IT people, right? And 75, that means 3 lakh it is already pushing. And this is not just TCS. A lot of companies will be pushing the same to the remote working, right? So there'll be huge, like technology now will be actually introduced in every domain, be it a tech, non-tech, every domain, because people now have to learn technology. People now have to learn how to work remotely in order to stay into the current scenario. So to cut that short, basically, the technology will be given a huge boost post COVID-19 and the current scenario.
So that was what is going to happen after COVID-19. Being into the industry for some years, how do you think that this industry has changed over the past decade?
To give that figure, I'll just give a small example. So currently, the data that is generated is currently every day people generate 2.5 quintillion bytes of data. So to explain what is quintillion, it's one succeeded by 18 zeros, right? That is the scale at which the data is generated. 90% of the data that exists in this world is being generated in the last 2 years only, last 2 to 3 years only, right? That is the scale at which the technology is driven, right? So you can understand that now is the time people have actually now started going into the technology, because if even if you talk about like 10 years back, most of the people were still, I mean, were not familiar with the online stores, online marketing or anything. This is the time when people actually have gone into the technology. So even before COVID, like if I see the past 5 years, the technology has been a major ingredient, major part of the the economy and basically driving the economy part. So yeah, so that is the basic thing. Like the technology, basically people have to get into this thing. People have to understand these technologies and all to actually stay in the current basically the zone.
So, as you say, coming back to the present time, do you feel that these skills are important in today's scenario? And are these skills going to be a source of sustainable income?
Right, right. So technology will be an essential skill. I've already told you, and in fact, I already have made a emphasis on the fact that most of the people, irrespective of whether they're in the technology or they're in the non-tech, they have to learn technology, because more than 50% of the workforce is going to be pushed online. Sorry, it'll be a remote working. Like, and if you might have seen in the current scenarios of startups and entrepreneurship, also there's been a huge investment on the remote working solutions, right? So that's why learning technology is essential, right? It is very important that people from every background actually move into this domain. They start learning these things. And to answer sustainable source of income, I think that this will be the major source of income. This could become a major source of income for most of us, right? In fact, you might have heard of the term gig economy, right? Gig economy, basically people who work as freelancers and these kind, and they earn. There are people from gig economy who earn much more than the regular job employees, right? It's because of this technology intrusion into this our current landscape. So that's why it's going to be a good source of income even in the coming future.
As we see, as you make us understand that there's like a quite a demand of all these things, the IT industry specifically these
Right.
days. But we also see like there's a lot of unemployment in the engineering sector also. What can be the cause of this? Like when there is a lot of demand, still we see so much unemployment in them.
Yeah. So the thing is, see, I am not demeaning the quality of education by the institutes, but it's been through a very specific way. Like you see, now if we see the landscape of the services or companies has changed over the years. In fact, last 10 years, this has been a huge change, right? But a lot of colleges, like a lot of education institute, are still focusing on the previous working base, like on some only getting all these topics together and all these things, like not emphasizing on that part. But the thing is, if you see the current scenario, engineers in India, they currently are not that trained that they can actually directly be employed to a company, right? There are two parts to basically employment. First is the skill, the technology, or basically whichever the relevant skill, and second is the soft skill, right? And to answer this, like I am from an engineering background, soft skill is something that every engineers lack, right? I mean, uh, not demeaning, but like two to like more than 50 to 60% of engineers are not even good at speaking English, fluent English, right? So that's why they can't even put into a direct communication with the client. And that's been actually also a huge emphasis by the companies to actually improve on the soft skill, so that the employees are at least employable to some extent, right? So that is the whole reason that because of which these training institutes and training ventures are coming into play, because they, like I told, India has 30 million workforce and 40% has to have the skilling out of those 30 million. Otherwise, they'll be out of job within coming years, right? Because the technology has changed very, very much, right? So yeah, that is the thing.
Akash, so what I'm hearing from you is that there is enough demand and supply. The challenge is somebody like Vistu to make the bridge to ensure that this scaling happens proactively, uh, while they are working somewhere, or even if they are not working, somebody skills them so that they can get the right kind of jobs.
Right.
What has been your experience till now in terms of talking to corporates who are actually engaging? And I think you are also working with some international companies as well in this
Right.
sector.
Right. So what I have realized that, in fact, the previous corporate training, the previous how corporates used to operate, they were mainly focusing on an on-premise solution. Like people used to come into their offices and train, right? But what we actually focus is on online training, right? That actually becomes an advantage to the corporates, like the way we have been communicating, because see, corporates like having a complete offline structure, creating a complete room for the training and all, this real estate cost a lot, right? So when you actually bring everything online, so technology actually reduces the complete cost of a particular operation, right, by eliminating these minor factors out of it. But the problem then comes is online engagement is a problem, because when a person standing in front of you, he can engage you much more than when a person is sitting on a live TV and speaking to you, right? Because he cannot monitor the complete engagement. So these are some challenges that actually corporates have been facing. We have tried to actually figure out this solution. We have created much more user engagement by different interaction method during our live sessions, by multiple polls created during the session. We also use this complete data to complete drive a personalized learning track. So if, let's say, you, Aditi, and Amit, all three are learning for a particular technology, then given the pre-evaluation test and given the in-session test, we'll be getting a complete resources. Okay, you lack at this particular point, I lack at this particular point, so we need to focus on these areas. This has been something major. This is something like a good advantage that the corporates have previously been looking for, because now they know that if they have trained a workforce of 20, out of these 20, which are the one who can work on this and which are the one who need to be reskilled again, or who need to work on the secondary job, right? So these are basically the things. Also, like we have a lot of focus on the quality, which like with the international client, like which Amit told. So we had a training for South Africa, which was a company that was working on advanced PostgreSQL. It's a database, right? And we actually gave a lecture on some high level topics. For example, basically, if some database is available on multiple location, some different remote location, one data center in India, one is located in US, how do you combine them and make a single database and operate it like a one piece? So we had actually trained them on these kind of technologies, and the quality is something that actually became a good impact for them. So basically, just telling, like, they have also been they are also asking us to be like a hand holding partner for the development. So we realize that online actually gives a good impact, and maintaining the quality actually becomes a good thing for them. So yeah, that has been our experience through our during the online training programs.
Interesting. Right. So, I'll probably try and put a connect my first question and this, your this current answer, and possibly quote a friend of mine who is again from an IIT. Uh, so, what I heard, and I think everybody wants to get into that elite group. कि IIT and whom है IIT and राहुल. But उसने उसने मुझे एक बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग बात की थी कि जब हम IIT में सिलेक्ट होते हैं तो हम अपने गली के शेर होते हैं, राइट? कि भाई हम अलग लेवल पे हैं, राइट? बाकी सब लोग ऐसे ही हैं, लेकिन जब आप IIT जाते हैं तो हर गली का शेर वहां आया होता है, राइट? तो बहुत सारे शेर हैं. Now the only thing which you can do is you can compete to a next level, right?
Right.
So I'm just giving, I'm quoting this, but my question is a little different, which is, you talked about soft skills, we are talking about learning a lot. How do you think there is an importance of having a peer group, important peer group, smart peer group, so that your learning automatically happens faster because you're talking to intelligent people, right? What some tips and tricks there, and what was your experience while IIT and after IIT also?
Okay. So yeah, like you have rightly pointed out, peer group is actually a very, very, very important part of learning. So in actually IIT, you might have seen IITs like people actually, it's not just the technology domain. You might have seen the web series domain or even in the different other domain. IIT, like people do go out and they are actually able to establish themselves. The reason is because IIT, if it's like because the people who have been selected through such a tough process, they are now in that particular domain and they learn from each other, they grow each other, they help out each other. And in IITs, actually, this is the part that grows you. It's not much on the lectures or the that go through or basically other tags and all. It's actually your peer group whom you learn from. And people, if you interact from any person from IIT, like most of the skill that they would have learned is not from the classes. It's because of from their surrounding people, right? Be it in sports, be it in technology, anything. They learn it in classes, and that is what happens outside, right? So when you move out, so you might have heard like people who are even from non-IITian group have been able to scale up pretty fast. The only reason was that because of the peer group that they are in. And see, the degree and these IIT tags, they matter for some time, like for like 4 5 years post you like go out of the college. But after that, it's only the experience that you have gained throughout your work experience, from your peer experience, that actually helps you scale. So basically, peer group has actually an important part, and that is like also just to emphasize, like in our way of teaching, also we are actually trying to build that thing only. Every batch we train, we build our community of developers for that because we know that they have a particular skill, they have been trained. So the new developers that come, we try to engage them with that, so that they also keep on learning in these skills, right? So yeah, so that is the basic thing. Like yeah, obviously peer group is like a basic like a very important thing. In fact, previously recently we actually qualified for first round of Y Combinator, and I realized like most of the help that I actually got was from the peer group that I was having. And it's because like throughout the year we have, because of IIT and all, we had a good peer group who, like, out of which most of the people have like a lot of people have been in this YC and these kind of competitions. So it was very easy for me to find these people out and actually get a mentoring from them, right? So they actually help you scale very fast in kind of any kind of scenarios. So yeah.
Right, and again, this happened in actually happened with you organically. You know, there was no intentional thought in networking करनी है, but you know, and so this actually means that you should have to have, you know, good relationship, and you're talking about soft skills. You know, so it's not about just speaking a certain language, or you are able to comprehend what you know, what your thoughts are for the other person, and you know their thoughts also. But relationships are important angle there, right?
Right.
Right. So,
So soft skill is that only. I mean, soft skill is not about just English. English you can learn. It's about how well you communicate, so that even if you put a point, you do not disrespect others and all, right?
हाँ नहीं, तो कुछ लोग वो रिलेशनशिप का इंपॉर्टेंस नहीं समझते ना। फॉर 5 साल के बाद उनको लगता है, अरे यार मेरे को तो कोई जानता ही नहीं है, मैं तो नौकरी कर रहा हूँ, राइट? सो वो सब चीजें होती हैं, बट you know, this reminds me of another question is, during the course of this, you know, when you look at these corporate employees, you know, engage with them, do you also looking at, you know, some kind of gamification so that, you know, there could be a leadership board कि वो एक healthy competition, I'm not saying कि obviously सब अपनी नौकरी के लिए लड़ रहे हैं, but there could be a healthy competition between them. Is that something which you do?
Yeah. So in fact, these are certain things that like are meant to be implemented, like we have, like which we had started from the day one. Because like I've told you, the major problem that comes in online training is the user engagement, right? So we have to have these a gamification. Basically what we do is, like, whenever a set of people are there with us whom we are training, we collect the data. I've already emphasized the training part, that we collect the data during through different sessions and quizzes, and we analyze their performance on different topics. So we generate a leaderboard for them, which is on an overall performance, on a topic-wise performance, and we actually help them to improve. Right. So there are multiple in session, like there are certain what do we say, some fast track quizzes in between, which people can actually work out. Which people, let's say, if they're trained by themselves, we provided them a resource. They learned it by themselves. They did a quiz, and they actually can score up well in the leaderboard. Right. So we actually, enough competition is a major driving factor, and competition actually enhances your learning process. So we have to take advantage of that, and we try to use that to optimize the complete user engagement and learning process.
interesting. So you're already doing it, right? मेरे जैसे अदिति जैसे जो कुछ लोग हैं जो जिनके जो हाईटी में हाथ तंग है, राइट, उनके लिए कुछ कर रहे हो, कैन वी लर्न कोडिंग if we want to? Is there something which you have done in the past?
Yeah. So coding, see, people actually, I mean, I have actually heard it from a lot of people. They consider coding as a havoc, as in like it's too complicated. How are we going to go into this? But it's actually too simple, right? If you are good at, like, even if you like, if you understand the mathematics, right, you understand that there is a particular set of logic, and rest is everything that goes about it. Same way it happens in coding. You just have to understand some logic and the syntax. And like we did a training in Android. There was a school teacher who, like a content creator, she was previously a school teacher, and she had no programming background. She was trained through our course. We taught her Java, which is like supposed to be among the difficult programming languages, and we taught her how to develop an Android application. She was able to deploy it on her own. So like that actually validates the fact it's not very difficult. People from commerce background, we have trained them into like machine learning and data analytics. So coding is not that difficult. If you, in fact, we have tried to make sure that our processes are like well established for non-coding and coding background. Only it differs it where do we start from. So that's it.
Right. So I think, Aditi, if you want to create your own app, this is the perfect time. And just for the audience knowledge, Akash is also helping us build a app development course, which will be live in the next few days, where kids and even their parents can learn how to build an app within 45 days. I think गर्मी की छुट्टियों का best use हो जाएगा. आप जब तक अपनी गर्मी की छुट्टियां खत्म कर रहे हैं, you would know how to build your own app. Akash, thank you so much again for all these interesting questions. I think कुछ questions तुम्हारे लिए out of syllabus थे, क्योंकि ये तुम्हें पता नहीं था. But
नहीं, ये एक्चुअली आईआईटी में जैसे आपने बोला ना, वहाँ की आदत हो रखी है, काफी चीजें आउट ऑफ सिलेबस ही आती हैं.
तो आईआईटी काम आ ही गया तुम्हें, है?
Okay. Also, guys, it's actually very good. I mean, if you are taking on that Android courses, just be sure to take that course, because the upcoming next course that will come will be on the game development, and you have to have this prerequisite course of Android. So do take that course.
Nice, right? So again, thanks so much for supporting Kidspreneur throughout. Akash, you have been a strong pillar of support for us. Aditi, over to you.
Thank you, Amit. And as we are discussing about kids and game development and app development, I remember one thing. There's this cousin of mine who's just 10, 11 years old. And one day he called me up in the evening and he was like, Didi, app kaise banate hai? He literally, just one single statement, Didi, app kaise banate hai? And I was like, tu app banayega? And he was like, yes, main banaunga, batao to sahi banate kaise? So I think through Vistute and Kidspreneurs, such kids will, get an acceleration, and they'll also be able to make the apps that they use.
Right.
And I think from my family, the kids will be more inclined towards PUBG. So they want to make something like that. So I think you'll be able to help them in that way.
Exactly. In fact, it's very good to teach the kids, because they have their their creativity is still intact. It's not been broken down like us, who have been gone through that mainstream way of education. So they actually have that lot of creativity, and they can build out something which we might not even imagine. So it's actually good for kids to learn these technologies.
And I think when they're young, it's like easy to grasp on things. So they'll also be able to learn this different language, the computer language, easily and get a hold of it well in time. So I think it was, great having you here, getting all the questions, answers to all the questions, and then a lot of knowledge about you, this industry, and Vistute also. So I would like to thank you, Akash, to coming here and enlightening us about the IT industry. And also would like to thank Amit for joining us for today's session.
Thank you, Aditi. Thanks, Amit. Thanks, Amit, for asking me the out of syllabus questions as well. That was very encouraging me to think on the live session.
Always a pleasure, Akash.
Okay.
Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. Stay safe and stay healthy during this coronavirus.